Hey everyone, welcome back to Creekside Homestead, Alaska. It is the early April here and we are headed out to the she shed for a couple of reasons. Very exciting. I have already started my seedlings, quite a few of them, so I need to check on those and see what needs to be watered. And we are checking to see if we have any baby chicks hatched. So thought we'd bring you guys along and see if we have any little chirpy chirps. And yes, it is April. Break up in Alaska. But it's very exciting because no snow on the raised beds.
And why is that?
Because this guy shoveled it all off.
River.
So thank goodness.
River, we need that dirt later.
So we're getting closer, and then River's very excited to have dirt to play in, even though it's still partially frozen. Okay, so here we go. My lovely she shed with all kinds of growth happening. So exciting. I'll give you guys a tour of all this later. Oh, Sean says he sees movement. Say what? I see a crack. Oh, we have somebody else is very excited to see if we have baby chickens too. Okay, I can't open it. But
I can see it pecking at it.
I don't know if you could see that second one right there. Oh, he's cracking the shell. I don't know if you could see that, but
You gotta be able to see better than that.
there
right
we go. I can see movement. Hopefully you guys can see that.
He's working on it.
River's beside me. Super excited. But unfortunately, that seems to be the only one so far.
About 3 days late.
He's going at it.
Yeah, he's
So hopefully we'll have at least another one here in a day or so. And we're actually going overnight tomorrow night. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this. We might be taking the incubator with us because I'm not losing the chicken and it has to stay in here for 24 to 48 hours until it fluffs up and dries out. Oh, more. Look at him go.
I know you're so excited.
So we'll come check on him in about an hour and see. Couple hours. We'll give him a couple hours. But he's quickly cracking that shell, so we'll come check on things here in a couple hours and see if we can see a baby chicken. Super exciting.
It's our first one. You can tell them that.
Yeah, our first this is our first one that we've hatched from all of our eggs. The ones previously we got from a friend.
Our rooster, our hen.
Yes, our rooster, our hen. So super exciting. So now I have to get the brooder set up. I think she knows what's going in there eventually. But I'll get this set up here today.
You can hear him?
I can hear him chirping. Well, hopefully it's a she, not a he.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We don't need any more roosters. That was our problem before. But anyways, give you guys a look. Like I said, I'll bring you in for a tour of that later because I have to come out here and do some more starting later today. Anyways, we'll see y'all in a bit when he or she completely hatches. All right, everybody, it is the next morning and we have a little baby. Oh, hopefully he turns this way. And we have another crack in this first one. He looks good, or she, hopefully she.
Hopefully she. It's fun. She did take on Blackbird's color.
Must have, well, obviously hatched out last night, but still trying to figure it all out. Just like a baby. So much energy, so tired. Anyways, that's awesome. So hopefully we're gonna have 2 baby chicks. Oh, there it is. All right, we'll check back in another 24 hours, see how this other one's doing. All right, so it's been a few days and we got a little surprise. We had a third one hatch that we weren't expecting. And it was just hatched yesterday. So the other 2, they're gonna make a ton of noise. So here's our 3 littles. They're very afraid of the world right now. It's a big, scary world out there. So these 2, the darker ones, are 5 days old. And little yellow guy, he's not even 24 hours. Well, he's a little over 24 hours. So he's still trying to figure it out. He's wobbling still a little bit, but he's very, or she hopefully is very vocal. So I'm going to get the heat back on them, especially for that little guy. But they're so cute. See if, all right, let's get the heat back on them. And then I'll give you a garden update. Yay. One quick update before I went ahead and got, a dozen so more in the incubator yesterday. So we're hoping that in 3 weeks we'll have quite a few more. Since I was pretty happy with the way these guys went. Remember, I only had 6 eggs in there because it was our first time doing it out of our rooster and our little chicks. So now I'm doing, I think there's like after, I'll get 1 more in there today and then I'll leave it closed up. So it'll be a good dozen eggs and we'll see how they do. What I find so interesting about these 3 is same mama and daddy, and they're totally different. So I was expecting, I wasn't expecting the yellow one, but they are barnyard mixes. So we have really no idea what mixed breed they are. All right, on with the garden update. Okay, on to the garden. I absolutely love this time of year. There's just so much newness happening. Baby goats will be here in a couple weeks. The chicks are doing great, and the gardening is just insane right now. Getting prepped and ready. Even though it's still snowing and breakup outside, inside the she shed, it is all about the garden. And I'm so excited. Everything is doing pretty good. These dahlias are just doing amazing, but we'll go over that in a minute. But first, I do need to up-pot quite a bit of stuff. I've got to up-pot. These are all of the brassicas. Well, this is cauliflower and kohlrabi on this side, and I think the other side is cabbage and bok choy. And those are just, they're doing really good, but it's getting close to needing up-potted. And then this is all I think this is, no, these are collards, and they're starting to get a little leggy, so I need to take care of those. And then these guys back here, this is broccoli, and it is doing fantastic. And along with this tray of broccoli, this is all broccoli. These guys I need to up pot like ASAP. But I am actually going to take those trays of the cabbages, cauliflowers, and broccoli, and I'm going to stick them in the greenhouse for a few hours because they like the cooler temperatures. And right now in my greenhouse, it's 52 degrees, which is exactly where I need them to be to start hardening off. And then if it gets too hot in there, because it's unheated, but if it does get too hot in there, then I'll just crack the door open and I'll bring them back in tonight and just keep doing this process every day for a couple weeks until I can get them in pots, or because the ground won't be ready. But I could get them in pots and get them outside. First time I'm doing it like this, so hopefully this little experiment goes good. But that's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'll come back in and we'll go over everything else. And then if I get everything I need up potted today, I'll grab these broccolis and try and get those up potted as well. But I have a lot to do. All right. So that leaves, I have a ton of nasturtiums. I don't think I'm going to put these outside because I have to deal with these today. I don't know if you probably can't see my hanging baskets, but so I'm doing these hanging baskets for the first time, and I grew a ton of nasturtiums, and it said to only put 4 in each pot because they get pretty massive. Well, it said 4 to 6. So I think I'm going to put another couple more in each one of these. I have 2 so far, and I need to make 4 or 5 more. And I have this whole tray of nasturtiums, and I have another tray of nasturtiums down there at the bottom. So they did so well last year, and they turned out so beautiful. I had them in the raised beds, and they were fantastic. If you saw our summer update, they were just massive. So I decided, instead of spending a ton of money and buying hanging baskets like we do every year, I wanted to try my hand at doing my own. So see how these goes, but these guys look really, really good. I just think I could put a couple more in there. So that's what we're gonna do. And so that's on the agenda for today. It's getting those done. The tomatoes are they're doing really, really good out here in the shed, which is heated. I'm sure most of you know that from our other videos, but right now in here, it's 65 in here. And it'll pretty much stay that way. I have it's set at 62 to not go below 62, but it's always like 3 to 4 degrees warmer in here. So perfect for them. This tray are my sunflowers. I wasn't going to do sunflowers again this year, but I had seeds and I wanted to see how they were going to do. I wasn't going to buy more. And as you can see, there's a lot that did not germinate. So we'll see how these guys do this year. Last year I didn't get anything. I think it was the year before, maybe 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago. I did great with them. But I think that these are ones that you probably have to buy seeds from every year or every other year. So we'll see how those do. And over here, I've got loofah. We're gonna see. I don't know if I have long enough growing season, but we are gonna stick them in a couple of different places as an experiment, but they look really good. This one's already starting to get its little, I think that's its true leaf. But anyways, these are actually going to go over the arbor at the entrance of the garden. And then I'm going to put some in one of the greenhouses. I'm not sure which one yet. Probably the one with the peppers and cucumbers. But yeah, I only did 6 of those because I didn't know how those were going to turn out. And then this, I think, is kale and fennel. No, this is lettuce. Lettuce and fennel. I just started that tray. This is kale back here. Ah! Oh, I almost lost it. And then, oh, I've got 6 more sunflowers, which actually 5 more, which all germinated and did great. And these are the mammoth sunflowers. So these get huge. So hoping those do well. These are all my tomatoes. I've got some here, and then I have 2 more trays down at the bottom. I think we have a total of 60 tomato plants. So those all germinated and did fantastic. This are different herbs. This is my fennel. A few eggplants. I've learned I'm not really a huge fan of eggplants, but they do well, especially in the peppers. They repel the aphids. So I went ahead and started 6 more of those just to keep in there. And then I'll probably just give the eggplant away because I just am not a fan. These puppies down here, actually I have 3. I forgot about the one over here. I have 3 nasturtium hanging baskets going, so I think I need to do 3 or 4 more today. Anyways, these are my dahlias that I overwintered the bulbs from last year. I actually overwintered like 12 and only 3 germinated. But that's okay. So I'll probably end up buying 2 more from my neighbor and then figure out how to get those to overwinter a little bit better. Last year was my first year doing that. But these guys are, don't laugh, I know I'm in Alaska, but we're trying sweet potatoes again. And this year I started them super, super early, and I'm hopeful, okay? I'm hopeful. And I think I only got 3. I think I started 4 and I got 3 to do really well. So that's not bad. And then again, don't laugh, okra. Started those again early this year. Last year, I think I started them too late. So this year I started them a little earlier, and we're just gonna see how it goes. This she shed is getting very, very crowded, but I'm okay with that. It's a good thing. That means life is happening on the homestead. Over here we have, now, what did I label these? I labeled these zinnias, but according to my plant identifier, it's calling these dahlias. So I don't know if I mixed them up or not. I don't think I did, but I don't know why it's saying that. So I'm going to check it again. It might be just too young. So I'm going to check it again. And either way, if it's dahlias, hey, lots of dahlias, right? Then I won't have to go buy any. I just started this tray day before yesterday. And this is corn. I think I did 6 more eggplant. And so I did 12 ears of corn, 6 eggplant, and I'm restarting Brussels sprouts. I did 6 of those because I didn't have any luck with those either. And like we had talked about in one other videos, a lot of these seeds are 3 to 4 years old. So I'm experimenting to see how long those seeds last before I need to reorder. So this winter, when I place my seed order, usually in November, December, it will be a huge order. So I'm making lots of notes but Brussels sprouts are definitely on the list. These are the dahlia seeds that did not germinate, but I did go to empty one out, and it's like growing roots underneath. So I don't know if they're just slow growing. I don't know. So I'm just keeping them in there to see what happens. These I just did, and I already can't remember what I did. Oh, beets. These are beets. I start my beets inside, and then I also direct sow them when the ground is workable. And then this is my other project for today. These are the rest of our peppers. The other ones I've already up potted are in the house in the tents with grow lights. So those I will be keeping in there until they're ready to come out here, and then we'll harden them off, and then probably second week of June they'll go in the greenhouse. But these are what's left, so I've got to get these up potted today, and these are the rest of my hot peppers and also all of my bell peppers. So those are doing good. So that's where we're at. So I just put another, I know it doesn't look very full right now, but I'll show you a picture of how they grew last year, and I don't want to overcrowd them. So they do take a while to get going, which is why I started them so early. And I was going by the Farmer's Almanac for everything, but this year I decided to do about a week to 2 weeks, depending on what it was, earlier than what it said. Just because a lot of stuff didn't have, well, not a lot, but a few things didn't have enough time last year. So I really want to give everything enough chance to grow. And yeah, these guys look really good. Okay. That's one, and I'm actually going to move this out to all the nasturtiums once I get them in hanging baskets. I'm going to move out there real quick so they have a few hours, because usually I have my hanging baskets up by Memorial Day, so that's only, what, a month away. So I'm trying to get them to acclimate and jumpstart their growing. I just love that little chirpy sound. So for some plants, they don't like to be, look at the roots on that guy. Yeah, he's ready to be up potted. Some things don't like to be transplanted, so they say not to disturb them, or, you know, put them in a bigger pot. I just don't have that kind of space. So what works for me is this handy dandy little tool that grips both sides of it, so you're not disturbing the root system too much. And then it's got these edges on here, and it just gets right down in the dirt where you need to plant it. It's awesome. So highly recommend this. I will put a link to this in the description box. And I know I said I keep it 65 in here. I'm just listening to these little guys chirp. But if you saw earlier, they are under a heat plate, I think is what they call it. So it regulates that temperature very well for them. And just instinctively, they go under there. I'm guessing that's probably around 90 degrees under there, because that's what it's their temperature is supposed to be for the first couple weeks. And then we'll start dropping that temperature down. Well, this doesn't have a temperature gauge on it, but I can raise it, so the heat disperses a little bit better and it's not as hot right on top of them. But so they stay in this she shed the whole time. And then I think they stay in here, what do we do last, 12 weeks? And then we'll slowly start introducing them as they get to almost the same size as our others, because I don't want them getting picked on. And if I put them in there too early, it won't be good. I've already realized that I'm going to quickly run out of growing space for starting stuff in here, which is why I've been moving stuff out to the greenhouse during the day, because I just don't have enough room for everything to go under lights. And that's because I started a ton more than I did last year, which was intentional. But I think at this time of the year, most gardeners are in the same, I mean, everybody plants more than they should because it just gets a little addicting. I just noticed, I totally forgot about this one because it's hiding behind the dahlias, but this is one of my sweet potatoes. This is why I'm kind of optimistic, because this guy's just doing awesome. So anyways, I think that makes 4 then, maybe 5. This other one does good. So hopefully one out of the sweet potatoes will do good. I did forget though that I need to actually get some other stuff started. I've got to get started my winter squash. Oh, let's look at my map, my calendar here. Winter squash, melons, and the cucamelons, which did really well last year. The cucamelons did. So I'm going to grow a couple more of those, and those are just tiny. I think I showed them over the summer. They just look like tiny watermelons, but they taste like cucumbers. It's the weirdest thing. And they're just, they throw them in a salad. They're really good. Anyways, I have to get that started. Up hot the peppers, which I'm going to do next. And then I think that's it for today. And then I have some more flowers to get started. But if I don't get to those, that'll be okay. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I had to do another tray of finish the beets. So I got those done. And I think today I'll probably finish up these peppers. And then that might be it for the day. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get to the melons and the winter squash, but we'll see. And like I said, well, I don't know if I said it this time, but I started these peppers out in just little seedling trays. I did a lot of looking into this, and I think last year I started them in red solo and then I moved them. I don't know if we moved them too late or what we did, but this year I'm starting them in these seedlings, and before they can even get root bound, I'm moving them into here, and then before they get completely root bound in here, I mean, I do want them to have a little bit of structure, but then I will move them probably, yeah, I'll probably have to up pot them one more time into these bigger ones. And then second week of June, we'll move them into the greenhouse in the buckets and or raised beds. We'll see what we're getting to this year. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that, but they're not all the way root bound. They're just starting to hold up into the soil. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. And then these will go in the house once I'm done out here. It's so nice to have this out here because I don't have all that soil in my house like in the past. So this is a really awesome space to have. That my wonderful hubby built for me. Pretty cool. That's really it for uppotting the peppers. I'm gonna get all these done and moved into the house. What are you chirping about? You trying to figure life out? Anyways, so I got my winter squash out and my melons are in here. I just have to decide if I want to do every variety that I have, and I'm not sure that I do. But I mean, I know you've seen me do a video of all the varieties, but I'll just show you again what my dilemma is, because growing winter squash up here, well, where we're at anyway, zone 3B, is very, very difficult, and I keep trying every year. So I have all these varieties, plus this from the storage vault, and I just don't know. I think the one that got the closest last year, and again, I'm doing these like 2 weeks earlier than last year, but I really want to try this Kakai pumpkin. It just looks super interesting. So I would like to try that for sure. And then this golden Hubbard squash I'm gonna try. And then this, definitely this sweet meat. This has really, really good reviews, so I would love to get some of that. And then sweet dumpling squash I'm going to try. Oh, you know what? I might as well just try one of everyone, right? Right. At least one. See what happens. Then I have our regular pumpkins. This also looks very interesting, but I can't pronounce it. Kuranishiki kabocha. Oh, looks pretty cool. Regular little jack-o'-lanterns, butternut squash, and acorn squash. So I'm at least gonna do one of each. We'll see what happens. And then same thing with my melons. I don't have a ton. Well, it looks like I have a ton. But I think I'm just going to do definitely the kuka melon, for sure. Kuka melon. I'll probably do 4 of these. And then I have your traditional honeydew. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do that one this year. We'll see. This banana melon I did not do last year. I just got these seeds. So I'm definitely going to try at least one of those. This sweet Siberian is supposed to be okay for here. It has an 80-day maturity, so I'm hopeful about that. Oop. And then we have just our regular, I am going to do a sugar baby watermelon because they're smaller, so I'm hoping that their maturity date is enough. And then we have the Hale's Best Jumbo, which is cantaloupe. So I think I'm going to try one of those. So we're going to leave out the honeydew, crimson sweet, and just do those. Right, so I'm going to get my trays going, filled with dirt, get those started. And then I think that's it for the week. Cups. This is where I get into trouble. I start doing this, and then I end up having like 2 or 3 trays when I should only have 1. But, you know, that's the fun of it, I guess. And then again, yeah. Okay, let's get to labeling. I do everything in like bulk. So I do all my labeling for the tray. And then I fill all the cups with, I haven't decided if I'm going to do them in these or seed trays. I need to look at that. But anyways, I label everything, fill it with dirt, then put the seeds in, then top it off with dirt. And then water. They are being so vocal. They're so cute. All right, I am just about done filling those up, but I need to go get another bag of seed starter from the garage. In the summer, I usually keep all that stuff out here, but I just haven't brought the bags out here yet. So I'll probably do that today. And I need to go get some more water from the house. Again, we haven't turned our water on here yet because I get water through the hose, which connected outside, and I have my little sink here, but we haven't turned our outside water on yet. We just want to make 100% sure we're going to stay above freezing so our hoses and pipes don't freeze up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go fill up with water. I've got like 4 jugs to fill up. Grab some seed starter, and then we'll keep pressing on. All right, got all that done. Where is... Now, I just have to not get distracted and make sure I put the right seed in the right labeled cup. This is kabocha, so I'm doing one of those. And like I said before, I was only going to do one of each, but I had 2 extra spots in the tray, so I decided to do 2 of the sweet dumpling and 2 of the kakai, simply because those are the newest seeds. So I'm hoping that the germination for those should be very good. I'm excited to see if this one does good, the sweet dumpling, because it's just like a little one. 1 pound fruit. We'll see. I didn't do these last year. And I'm just putting 1 seed in each, so I don't have to do thinning, and hoping that they germinate. Sweet meat. Okay, wait, that one's done. All right, that's it for the winter squash. I don't know what I did with. Now I'm just going to top those off, give them a drink, and get them on the warming mat somehow. I have to free up 2 warming mats. All right, top these off, and then I'll show you guys what it's looking like. And it is pretty near capacity in here. But the good thing is that I'm taking the brassicas and stuff out to the greenhouse, so they are able to get natural light. Because, let's see, what is the temperature in there right now? So it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's 51 degrees in there right now, which is perfect for those. Even though it's raining and there's not, I mean, it's pretty cloudy out, but they still will benefit. So that's what I'm getting ready to do after I'm done with this, is get all those out into the greenhouse. Get these watered. Need to get a new watering can. That one just leaks everywhere. All right, I'll give you guys a quick 360 here. That is full to capacity. A lot of that's going to be going outside though, in the greenhouse for about 5 to 6 hours, and then it can come inside and just hang out till tomorrow. There's all of that. All of those, which all of that's going to be going outside. Our lemon tree, that's doing quite well out here. More hanging baskets. That is pretty much it for today. On my way back in the house, I think it's been a while since we've shown you our rooster, who is becoming quite the rooster. His name is Walter. And if you hear him crow, you'll know why, because he sounds like an old man, not a brand new rooster that should have this big bellowing crow. So I'll show you him real quick. And then that's going to do it for today. As you can see, it's pretty dreary out. Raining. But that just means everything is melting and getting, some parts are still a little slick. So life is just popping up everywhere on the homestead. This is one of my favorite times of the year and one of my least favorite times of the year because of breakup. But we've got baby goats, we've got, well, almost baby goats, probably about 2 weeks. And we've got baby chicks, more to come in about 3 weeks. And then these are our 2 remaining hens from their last hatch. Well, these are ones that our friends provided to us, and most of them were roosters. But there's one of our hens. I don't know if you can see Walter. There he comes strutting his stuff, trying to act all mean, but he ain't mean. He's a scaredy cat, but he's a good protector. And he's so pretty, huh, Walter? Are you pretty? No, you're not pretty, you're handsome. Are you handsome? Are you gonna show him your crow? Why we named you Walter? No? He will on my way out. You'll hear him, maybe. He usually does when I walk away. All right, anywho, that will do it. Woo, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and keep following along because we're going to have lots of updates this spring and summer. Lots happening. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.